What's going on, YouTube? Even though I've said that about 80 times today in the last couple hours, but what's going on? Maybe you're here because you just watched part A and now you want to watch part B. Maybe you're here because you just stumbled upon the video and now you're on the part B video. But either way, I'm glad you're here. I never asked for this at the beginning, but since I've done so much today, I feel like I deserve it. You know what I'm saying? All I ask is that you drop a like and subscribe. It helps me out so much. We're almost to 3,000 subscribers. We're almost there. Please help me get there. And it's freaking 3 a.m. now. I have work at 6 a.m. I'm not gonna sleep. By the time you're watching this, I'm at work dying. I don't know. I might be asleep at the job. I might get fired, you know? But we gonna tough it through. It's just one Friday. I can make it. I can make it. But please, just drop a like and subscribe if you're new for my efforts. But we're moving into part B. And this is going to be a short intro because I pretty much already did all the introducing I wanted to do for this album in part A. You can go check that out. But part B is the quote-unquote R&B side. Now in part A, Drake was also singing. But I assume that part B is going to be a lot more moody, a lot more emotional, a lot more sad boy singing of Drake. And you're obviously probably not going to get that many trap beats. And that's what I'm expecting for this. I've always been more of a fan of the rapping Drake, and that's what I just got, and I really liked it. The singing Drake, it's kind of hit or miss for me on a lot of songs, so we're going to see what he has to do. Now, there's separate videos that you haven't seen, if you haven't seen. So every song that has a feature has a separate video. So there's 2 songs on this album that have features. You will not see me react to those in this video. And Nice for What I'm not going to react to, because everyone and their mom has heard that song. So let's just get right into it, bruh. First thing I want to establish is one-word reactions. If you're new to the channel, this is what we do. We have one-word reactions. We get y'all involved. You will always have a voice on the Real SJ3's channel, okay? So we listen to the whole album, and then we come up with one word that describes everything that we just heard. And I'm gonna make a word at the end of it and tell you why I picked the word. Your job is to come up with your own word you think describes the whole album and comment it below. And the best comment, the thing I think describes the album the most from y'all, I will pin to this video. So if you want some free clout, put your comment down and it's gonna get pinned. But other than that, we about to just get right into it. We're gonna see what singing Drake has for me. We're gonna see what it is. First song is Peak. Now, off of first listen, that was kind of tough, but what I kind of got the song was about, it sounded like Drake was actually breaking up with a girl, which is different, because usually Drake is the heartbroken one, but he's talking about that he can't stand this girl, and that he found his inner peace, and now he's saying peace. He said that in the song, and that's basically what it was about. What the song reminded me of was Redemption on Views, that, on Views, the sound effect that he used was, oh yeah, 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 and on this one it was oh. I don't have auto-tune on right now, so it doesn't sound as good, but that type of feel was the same thing. But this song was kind of the opposite. Redemption was about the girl not wanting to be with Drake, and this song Peak is about Drake not wanting to be with whoever this girl is. It was cool. I really did like it. It was smooth. Now these R&B songs I know are gonna be slower, and the slower songs take a while to grow on you. You don't usually off of first listen is not when you are a huge fan of them. You gotta keep listening to them, and then you actually like them more than you would a hype song that jumps out at you right away. But off of first listen, that was a pretty good song. Now next song we got is Summer Games. I think you're changing your mind, starting to see it in your eyes. Now, is this about to be a pop song? It's starting to feel like that. It feel like it's gonna build up and then have like a pop beat drop. We'll see.
I used to love a good surprise, and now I'd rather know ahead of time. I follow one of your friends, you unfollow me. Then you block them so they can't see you liking something just like me. Yeah. You said I love you too fast. So much for
Yeah. Okay, I really like that song, and it didn't have the drop that I expected it to, but I really did like that song, and the beat and how it builds up, I really like that, and him talking about basically, like, it's called Summer Games. I guess I relate to this. It sounds like something that happens to, like, me, like young people, like, I'm 19 going on 20, like, in the summer you play games, like, unfollowing each other, and then you say that you don't want that person, and then they try to find someone that's just like you. Like, I know a girl I used to talk to, literally told me when she found this dude, she was like, oh, I found a dude that's just like you, light skin, curly hair, he is sarcastic, whatever. Like, that's what girls do. Girls that do that, and that's just what it. I mean, but maybe shit doesn't change when you get older. That's what I'm starting to think, that like these games that girls play, it doesn't change as they get older. They just are older, but they still play the same games. But I guess I'll only know when I get older. But that's what that song is about. And it was a vibe. I really liked what Drake was doing. And again, like I said in the other one, Drake is one of the most interesting artists that can create like that sense of a vibe without doing anything but just giving you his voice. Like, that was his voice auto-tuned. You don't hear any ad-libs, no harmonies, no nothing. It's literally just him, but it keeps you engaged. Like, there's really no other artist that continuously do songs with just their voice, without ad-libs and really anything. He picks and chooses his ad-libs, like, where he wants to use them. That's really cool. The next song is Jaded.
Learn yourself through me already. Gave me what you needed, I guess. So I'm not what you wanna say. I wanna be around while you chase. You wanna hit me up when you make it. Dogs on this side, dogs over on this side. Oh yeah. Hey, getting under my skin. Pretty little young thing. Had a nigga confidence, got me too excited.
This nigga Drake talking about he too excited. This nigga's too excited on these vocals. Listen to this nigga, bro.
And like guns with the ink in, getting under my skin. Pretty little young thing, had a nigga confidence, got me too
This nigga Drake a fool, bro. If anybody knows who, cause Drake's always talking about a girl that everyone knows he's talking about. I just never keep up with it. If anyone knows who he's talking about, is it Georgia Smith or whatever? He said that he asked her, how are you with a dude that does what I do, which is probably makes music, but it's just way less wavy. Who is he talking about?
Lord knows you still look amazing. That's besides the point I'm making. You're way too opinionated. I have to force it, I have to fake it.
I see why this is split into two parts, because this part B has literally nothing to do with part A, which I guess makes sense. But like, I don't know. This is we're getting a moody Drake. Like I assume everybody was ready for, and he's talking about. He's feeling really passionate about some girl so far that he just doesn't want to be with anymore, but it sounds like he really still likes her. And even though he's repeatedly saying that I can't stand you for the things you do, I can't be with you, I'm still mad at you that you're with someone else and you look good and you're with someone who does what I do and they don't do it as well. You know, those messages are really conflicting, Drake. I don't know if anyone else is hearing what I'm hearing. That's so selfish. That's so selfish. What Drake is talking about, but it is what it is. That song was interesting. I like the one line. I've always felt like sticking around was the same as being stuck. That shit hits home. If you ever been in a relationship where you felt like you were just sticking around. Next song is Nice for What? And everyone's already heard that song. So next after that is Finesse.
Yeah. How are you? Turn everything up a little more.
I feel like Drake is too big of an artist to still be in the studio talking about some turn me up, turn everything up, and putting it in the song, man. Come on, Drake. You way too big for all that.
I can't even lie. I'd rather stay inside. I can't do suit and tie.
Ooh.
Be in a room with you instead of
This shit is hot.
what he can no finesse. You stay on my mind. You stay on my mind.
Artistically, something I'm noticing about Drake on this album is that his use of autotune is increasing a lot for this R&B section. Like, and not necessarily in a bad thing. I'm not dissing him. Like, it's fine. I like how it sounds, but usually Drake is deceptive about his use of autotune. This one, it's kind of way more apparent that he's using autotune on these singing songs. I mean, I don't know if he did that because it sounds better for the songs, or I don't know, but that's just something I've noticed. His autotune use has very much increased for this, and you hear it in that. But I really like that song. I like the beat. I like the feel. I mean, it's kind of awkward. It's kind of weird the way he just randomly says finesse while he's singing, and then he just says finesse. And Drake sounds so torn in this album. It's ridiculous. Next is Ratchet, Happy Birthday.
Oh, it's a celebration. Oh, it's your birthday, baby, it's your birthday. Just say your piece and piece up like Ibiza. Cool your head top, you hotter than Anita. Bacon, baby, tell me where I need to be, to feel and feel that emptiness inside you. On your birthday, it's your fucking birthday.
Straight up, that's low-key a no for me, dog. That wasn't it. Like, it wasn't a bad song, but that was, I guess, but I mean, that wasn't it. I did not really find that song enjoyable, but it's not for me. It's for girls, I guess. But I mean, I can see girls like playing that on their birthday and like really liking it. I was kind of a little zoned out in the song because but that was probably one of the more forgettable songs I've heard on the album so far. Next song is That's How You Feel.
It's a thinking that it takes a toll. Told you I couldn't really draw the line. Line ringing saying that you told him things. Gone winter, shine on summer. Ride for your brother, die for your mother. Keep that shit 100. I know you wanna vacate to her. To try and get you off my mind. I know you like to drink till the sun up. Grind till you come.
So there's another song that Drake is more torn. This is one of the most torn R&B albums I've ever heard, where he's basically talking about like the girl like was playing with his heart, and he also broke her heart. But that's no excuse for how she played with his. This thing is low-key mean. But next song is Blue Tint. I've heard that Future's on this song, so we'll see. Oh, well, there's definitely Future. Yeah. though, that song was a really nice change of tempo to this album. Really elevated the mood of the album, if you will. Wasn't really too heavily involved in the torment that Drake has been experiencing with himself between loving this girl and wanting to let her go on this album. But it was just more so like a more upbeat song where he started singing like that one might have been able to go on part A. And it's funny, he featured Future. I guess you don't get a parentheses on the track list if you only say one line and you say it twice. But that was a good song. Next song is In My Feelings.
You've been learning, and when I took you shopping, you spend it like you earned it. And when you popped off from your ex, you deserved it. I thought you would've won for the kissing in a way, kissing in a way. I need that black card and a cold to the same, cold to the same, cold to the same thing. I show them how to network. Are you riding? So you never ever leave from beside me, 'cause I want you and I need you. What are y'all talking about?
No, I don't even care. I need a photo with Drake because my Instagram is weak as fuck.
I'm just being real. My shit, look.
So the direction of this album is, I don't know if I'm making it make sense in my head or if it's actually starting to make sense, because it's very interesting because the next two songs, Don't Matter to Me with Michael Jackson and After Dark featuring Static Major and Ty Dolla $ign, I have separate reactions for already on my channel, so we're not going to react to those songs. But they kind of trend in the way that I'm seeing the album go, and it's looking like in the beginning, like it started as Drake doesn't want this girl, and now he's decided, maybe I do. Now he's like, you know what, and I kind of want her again. And that like he's saying, do you love me and shit. Once I get to my final synopsis of the whole album at the end, I'll explain to you what I'm talking about. But skipping Don't Matter to Me, skipping After Dark, next song is Final Fantasy.
Get to neck grab, head grab, arch back there, but just be prepared that I am gonna cause that lipstick to smear and the mascara tears to run down. I always need a glass of wine by sundown. I always get your ass over here somehow. Deal with you when you like, the way you like it. Flashing like guns and walls. You got options, but I've been chosen to deal with.
Dog, I made a mistake, bro. I should have listened to the B-side before I listened to the A-side. I should have listened to the B-side when I was full of energy at 12 a.m. at like midnight. Now it's 4 a.m. and Drake is still singing these lullabies, and it's gonna put me to sleep, bro. Like it's crazy. Like they're good songs. It's just so smooth. Like the beats are so smooth and shit. It's about to just knock my ass out. That pretty much wraps up the B-side of Drake's album, and I understand why they called it a B-side, because that shit was straight throwaways, straight trap. No, I'm kidding. That was good, and it was a much harsher split than I thought. I thought the split wouldn't be as harsh, but it was. It was really R&B versus rap. Like it was a pretty harsh, and I'm discluding. That's not a word, is it? Don't check me on what I just said, but I'm getting rid of March 14th in this B-side reaction view because it really was a separate song. It really wasn't a part. It didn't feel like that was really a part of the B-side. But for the B-side, what I heard from that album was pretty interesting. And I'm just going to start off with my one word. One word I would use to describe the B-side of this album, I've said it throughout this whole reaction, is tormented. Drake was tormented this entire thing. And it starts off with Drake basically, if you listen to the flow of how the songs go, to me it sounded like in the beginning Drake was like, I can't stand you, I gotta get rid of you, I don't want to be with you anymore. And then that slowly over the songs, that evolved into, okay, you really left? I said I don't want to be with you, but you really left? And you really got another man? You really with someone else? He's like, that's how you feel? That's where it went to from there. And then after that, Drake got in his feelings. I'm using song titles to help you understand where I'm going with it. He got in his feelings and he's like, man, maybe I was wrong. I kind of want that girl back. And then you got the next couple songs, Don't Matter and After Dark, where it's basically saying like, okay, after everything we've been through, I don't care if we get back together, just be with me. I don't care what they say, I want to be with you. And that's pretty much what happened. Like Drake went through like the stages of a breakup. That's what it sounded like happened. And he was the one that broke it off, it sounds like. So tormented is the word I would use for that album. The B-side of this album had some songs that I probably won't listen to again. That's because I'm not really that big of Drake's R&B, like that big of a stand for it. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't a bad tape. I believe the A-side was better, and if I had to give the B-side a rating, it would definitely be a 7 out of 10 for the first listen, a light 7 out of 10 for the first listen. But there are some good songs on here, just a lot of songs that I don't see myself going back to, but that could grow on me. Since this is an R&B album, it really has to grow on you. It's gonna be hard. On top of that, it's 4 a.m. and these songs were putting me to sleep because he was really lightly singing them to me. But that's besides the point. That's my take of all of it. All together, Drake put out a pretty quality project that is gonna have us. We got enough Drake music to last until whenever he decides to come back. And knowing Drake has this thing where he doesn't know how to stop once he gets started. Like Drake, once he releases the album, he probably won't be that long before we get another Drake like song that he releases or something. Usually that's how it happens, and then he disappears for a long time, like a year, and then he comes back and then gives us a whole bunch of stuff. But that is it. I'm actually done reacting to everything involving Scorpion. Drop your one word that you think describes this part B of the album, and the best one will get pinned. And then besides that, you can just drop your comments below on what you thought of this side of the album. So that's pretty much it. I got a lot of editing to do, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna get these videos out. It's been your boy SJ3, and we out.